Hi, it is September 5th, 2024. I was watching a video, one of my gold bug videos, and just got a pathetically small amount of views despite having such great information. And it just made me realize how few people, at least in the West, are preparing for what is to come on an economic level. How few people are aware of what's going on in the financial markets and how to protect yourself from what's to come. It's futile to sit there and listen to these guys talk about stuff that I mostly already understand. Um, You got the butchers who want to depopulate the world, who want to, what do they say, 144,000. Then you got the bakers who don't want to slaughter everyone but don't know how not to. They just see that as baked into the cake. Then there are us, the candlestick makers, and we're few, man. Are there 144,000 of us? Maybe. Maybe across the world there are. That's not many people. Maybe I'm wrong in thinking I can convince this whole world to become free and bring about this freedom revolution and prevent the widespread suffering and death that will occur in its absence. And maybe the world does depopulate. Maybe they just go on to the bitter end and people just cannibalize each other, and only a few pockets of people here and there survive, and we go back to the dark ages. You know, bits and pieces of technology are preserved here and there, but few coordinated understandings. I mean, books are preserved, I suppose, in places, but no one has all the right books or the right teachers to guide them through those books. Societies become very dependent upon, well, people have become very dependent upon mass production and very complex supply chains that involve uh, a lot of complex technological understanding. If that's lost, I'd be surprised if 144,000 survive, because even the people who are most prepared are going to be facing mass numbers of invaders who are desperate, who are fighting for their lives. It's hard to see how many would survive. because they're not going to have mass production. They're going to have to internally develop communities that can withstand all the attacks and can essentially provide for themselves until the barbarians have been extinguished and free trade can open up between nations. So I don't know, man. There's this woman who she showed up some months ago, and at first I said, this is too much for me. Well, the other day she made eye contact with me for longer than anyone I can ever remember doing so from such a distance, and now she's looking at me a lot, and I'm concerned that I may have caused some problems or something. So, unfortunately, I've been real busy. I work a lot, and I got these books I'm trying to finish. So, my leisure time is mediocre, or what's the word? Minimal at present. So that sucks, right? I gotta do what I gotta do. That's a sure thing, which is going to work so I can meet my obligations and working on these books, which I believe, if this world can be changed, are a pathway to that change. Can be a pathway to that change. And they're the only one that I feel like ultimately is within my control, and I never know where people are coming from. I've had a lot of misunderstandings in the past where I thought a person or some people were trying to kind of non-verbally tell me a certain thing, and I misunderstood that message. And so, I mean, maybe I'll have a chance to confront this person this weekend, and maybe we can get to the bottom of it. Maybe they'll check out this video because they've been snooping around and figured out I got a website and a YouTube channel. I don't know if they found my TikTok yet. I don't know if that's on my website yet. It will get there because my TikTok's hot, man, and I'm getting some good discussion going. I'm getting a good number of views, and thank you to Courtney for hooking me up with that technology. I wish you'd comment a little bit on some of my interactions. I wish you would participate a little more in my freedom movement, even though understandably you can't participate in my personal life beyond a certain extent. So, but fuck, kid, I promise you, and I promise James, my books are the fucking shit. The published one has flaws, so disregard that one for now. But the one I sent you, that novel is fucking amazing, man. And if you don't think so, tell me why, because freedom is necessary, it's important, it's the direction we should be moving, and if anyone in this fucking world is reasonable, it should be you fucking people. And the same goes to fucking Larkin Rose, man, who I have been in contact with also. So, with all that said, bless you guys, and we'll see how things go, man. I'm at the end of what's been a real long summer of business tax returns. We got September 15th approaching. There's a lot of pressure right now on people trying to comply with some really difficult forms that start to infer penalties if they're not filed by the 15th of September. And you better fucking get them right to avoid all kinds of problems that can occur if you don't. So, doing my best to get through some real difficult work. Now, all we can do as accountants is our best. And sometimes we make mistakes. I just figured out today I made a slight mistake, picked up a little too much gain on a deal last year. So we're going to have that conversation. But I'm only human, you know. Tax law is difficult. And, you know, I was only the 8th highest scorer on the CPA exam in the state of Arizona in 2012. So, I mean, I can't be expected to understand things as well as the best, you know. I don't know, man. It's tricky business, man. But it's one of the few businesses right now that is in business because a lot of people still own businesses despite the perils that they incur by owning them in the United States at this time, with not only its current laws and regulations, but the will among the population to increase and further penalize businesses for attempting to be productive and attempting to produce something of value and keep its proprietors and employees fed. You know, people live here, and the truth is there are tyrannical governments around this planet, and you're going to have to deal with a whole new set of laws and regulations if you relocate. Some people stay here. You got to do something. You got to either work or you got to own a business to try to survive, unless you're just independently wealthy, which very, very few people are. And all you can do is the best with the options that are available to you. So, some people choose to operate businesses in the United States. And to stay in business, they got to file tax returns and they got to declare their information. So that's what we do. We help them comply. We help them figure out, navigate this code, and it's tough work, man. But like I said, it's work and it's available, and how much work is truly available these fucking days, man. I mean, everything's falling apart, man. The real estate market's collapsing, the car market's collapsing, the government will collapse because it's running out of fucking credit. Guy at a poker table up at Boulder Station said it. He said, lawyers and accountants, they run the world, man. And it's a sad truth. I said it shouldn't be that way, but you know, we're the best businesses to fucking be in as far as who's actually getting paid, right? Because people gotta comply, man. And it's a fucking nightmare to try to do that. I want to end this entire fucking system of laws, regulations, and taxation. I want to put my own livelihood. I want to antiquate it, man. I want to make all my money selling books, writing books, and engaging in other enterprises in the community. But right now, government doesn't provide a lot of opportunities for income, and that's just the one that I got. So got I guess I don't need to tell you guys everything, man. Gold, baby. I want to tell you about gold. I don't want to tell you about every investment because everyone every investment's unique, but gold shouldn't be seen as an investment. Gold should be seen as dry powder, as liquid capital that you have, that at any given time you can exchange for whatever it is that you want to acquire that has a price of that amount of gold. So you only want to own other things if you expect those other things to appreciate in terms of gold, or to pay a dividend that makes it worth your while, or interest that makes it worth your while to own that instead of gold. If you want safety, gold is the thing to own. And everyone should understand that. Everyone should be invested 100% of their net worth should be invested in gold unless there's some other asset that they believe, their investable net worth, I should say, because you have personal property, you have, maybe your house, you don't need to include because that's for you to live in. That's not purely an investment. And we won't even consider it an investment at all. That's fine. Your investable net worth 100% should be in gold unless the asset that you own, you expect it to rise more than gold or pay a dividend or interest, right? So you think about bonds, and you look at what bonds are paying, and then you look at what gold's up this year, man, and you tell me if that makes sense to own. You guys have a good evening.